Now, I just want to make sure this 32 grand that I'm going to use to leverage to buy this home for the first flip comes from this IRA.
It's inside of the IRA still.
Okay.
Because once I put it in there, I can't touch it.
So how do I use it to buy the house? I don't get that. All right, yo, people, what's up? This is your boy, John. I'm here today with a good virtual friend of mine. I've never met this man in person. You know, we've never met in person.
Never met in person, but I've met a lot of your friends in person.
That's funny, huh?
Yeah.
That's funny. All right, so tell the people who you are, Ron.
All right, I'm Ron Story Jr. I'm originally from East St. Louis, Illinois, but I currently reside down in Medellin, Colombia. For the past 3 years, I've been here in Medellin. I am the founder of PitchDB, where we help people to share their perspective via podcast, speaking gigs, things of that sort. So yeah, most people know me as the sales guy because of my main company is called 5 Contacts, where we set up sales meetings for people. So that turned into, someone asked me for, hey, you do sales meetings, can you help me to get booked for speaking gigs? So then we started this speaking gig booking business on the side. So
yeah, that's interesting. So that's how it all started, eh?
yeah,
Or
man,
at least this last. So what's your background? Where'd you come from? I mean, yeah, you came from St. Louis, but what,
Yeah,
tell me.
yeah, born and raised in East St. Louis, started selling insurance and investments back in 2000, May of 2000, while I was in college, and did that for 5 years with a company called Northwestern Mutual. Eventually, I went on to operate 8 Allstate agencies. I hesitate to say own because you really don't ever own anything with Farmers, Allstate, or State Farm. You're kind of renting them. But I had 8 Allstate agencies out in the Virginia Beach area. And then I became the district manager over Illinois and Iowa for Farmers Insurance. So I ran 300 agents for them, 300 agencies for them. And eventually got into the software business because I realized most software people knew how to code, but they didn't know how to sell. So for the last 10 years, actually, yeah, it'll be 10 years in September. I've been working with software companies, either my own or other ones, to build out sales systems.
Wow. Okay. So, I mean, basically you cut your teeth in insurance.
Yeah, man, I learned everything I know about selling by selling a dream that happens at your worst nightmare, which is life insurance, right?
Right.
When you die, you get to provide someone else, a lifestyle. And I had to sell someone on investing money into something that they would never benefit from. So I figured if you could sell that, you could sell anything.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. I mean, I've never looked at it like that, but yes, you won't be here after when the policy cashes in. It's for everybody else.
Yeah, it don't benefit you at all. I mean, there are some you can borrow some money from some and do all that stuff, but I mean, that ain't why you do it. You don't buy life insurance for that. You buy life insurance because you love somebody. You want to leave them a nice love letter. I always joke and say when my dad died, my inheritance was a history of alcoholism and diabetes, right? Well, I want to leave something different for my little baby. So, that's why I bought life insurance 20 years ago before I had a kid.
So if you're 20 years old now, or you're 25 years old now, what would you recommend that they do?
As much term insurance as the companies will allow them to buy.
Term.
As much term insurance as the company will allow them to buy.
That's interesting. I mean, because, there a lot of people are selling these whole life insurance policies and things like that. And it's like, this is where you can invest your money, blah, 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 blah. Why are you telling me term?
Because they're saying that because that benefits the agent, right?
Uh-huh.
So, I'm a partner in a publicly traded company called the Marketing Alliance, and it's 250 of the largest insurance brokerages in the country. And I'm one of those 250. So I know how the commissions work. And when someone talks to you about a whole life policy, and in that first year you see the cash values are zero,
Mhm.
that's because all of that money that you put in, that $10,000 or $5,000 that you paid in premiums that year, that went to that agent, right? And when you see it at 50%, so now you've paid 2 years of, let's say it's $10,000 a year, right? The first year, your cash value is going to be $300 because that agent took all that as commissions. The second year is going to be $5,000, but you put 20,000 in, but that's because the agent above them had to get paid, right?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
you usually don't break even where you can take out the same amount as you put into a life insurance policy until year 10.
Year
And
10
year
is
10.
what it takes to break even.
Yeah, I could just Google. There are life insurance policies, whole life policies in Google where people have screenshotted them, and they haven't changed. You know,
Right.
and
So
we
you're
can pull
putting
that
in
up.
100 grand,
Yeah,
10,000 over 10 years, and then I can finally pull out 100 grand
after 10 years.
after 10 years, but they've held, 100
Yeah,
grand,
yeah. And at
10 grand
basic,
a year and made
if you know the
money
rule
off
of
of it.
72, at basic 6%
Right.
interest, that 100 grand should be 200 grand
Mm,
because the rule of 72, you basically divide the interest rate into 72, and it tells you how many years it takes for your money to double.
wait a minute. Interest rate divided by 72, and it tells
No,
you how
into
many
72.
into 72. So
Yeah. So if
72
you're getting,
divided by the interest rate.
yep, exactly. So if you're
Gotcha.
getting 7% interest, you're going to double your money in 10 years. If
Hold on,
you're
I'm
getting
writing this.
10% interest, you're going to double your money in 7.2 years.
I'm writing this shit down.
Oh, yeah, yeah, record it.
Well, that's right. I got it on recording.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, like, if I were to go and, like, I could share screens and show you a
Yeah, yeah.
life insurance policy, right? You want me to do that to show you what I'm talking about?
No,
Okay, all right.
no, because we're on an audio.
Okay, well, they can watch the video on YouTube, man.
Yeah, that's true too.
You know,
But
so,
no, because this is not
but,
about insurance. But I mean, you got me in a rabbit hole, and I'm interested.
but that's the gist of it. So here's the reason why I tell
Uh-huh.
people not to do that. I think that there's some positives to doing that because if you're undisciplined, it forces you to save money, right? If you're
Right.
undisciplined, it's forced savings, and there's a consequence if you don't do it. You lose everything that you put in.
That's
Right?
ridiculous.
So that's a huge consequence. So it's forced savings. The other side, though, if you're a disciplined person, the same borrowing that they're talking about, if you put 100 grand into your Fidelity or any type of Wells Fargo trading account, they'll give you a margin loan against that.
Mhm.
So what do you, ain't no benefit. I mean, you can borrow against your positions in the market already.
Right, right.
So
Oh, okay. So when you're pulling that money out, if you don't, you can keep it, but if you don't put it back in, it's basically a loan you're paying off to yourself.
yeah, the
Yeah.
insurance policy is going to eat that up.
Okay.
And you're going to
Okay.
end up paying more
Right.
down the road for the insurance because you didn't pay the loans back.
Yeah.
So it's very
Interesting.
technical. I just think that when it comes to investing, you should do investments. And when it comes to protecting, you should do insurance. And most people that are young, they're still trying to grow wealth. So they shouldn't be doing wealth protection strategies when they don't have any wealth to protect. Right?
Very good.
Because I mean, 100 grand in my pocket that I have access to now is better than 100 grand in a life insurance policy. I don't care if they say, oh, well, there's double interest on it. Yeah, man, but dude, come on. Why I got to add all this complexity just to get my money back? Just buy a term policy. And if I'm a disciplined saver, I can make whatever investments I want to make. Right.
Okay.
And I mean, if you really want to get like high tech.
Okay, let's get high tech. Fine.
Yeah. So
Go.
most people are commission driven. So most financial advisors, they're not paid to give you advice. They're paid to sell you something better than the worst performing thing in your portfolio. That's what we're trained to do.
So first thing you're going to do is go through my portfolio
and find the worst performing thing you have, and then replace it with something that I have.
Oh, that's a good hustle though.
Yeah, but that's why they're not called financial advisors. They're called financial representatives or insurance agents or investment brokers. They're not allowed to be called financial advisors unless they go through a specific like CFP training. So
Are you allowed to make profits on recommendations if you're a financial service? What'd you say? They're not a provider. They are a what?
yeah, they're not an advisor. They're
Advisor. So
Yeah.
are advisors allowed to make money on?
No, they're
Okay.
allowed to make commissions on what's sold.
They
So
can
that's
make
why they
commission.
get paid up front, not on the back end off of performance.
Ah,
So when you go to your guy at Northwestern Mutual and he puts you in an American Funds mutual fund, he gets his commission up front off of that. And you haven't even performed anything yet, right? When someone buys an annuity, that annuity person gets paid tomorrow. And the annuity ain't even fixed yet. Like it ain't even done nothing yet.
right.
You know, so but that's the that side of it. What I think everybody should do,
Okay.
if I could go back and give my 25-year-old self advice, I would set up a Roth
Yes.
self-directed IRA or
Yes.
a Roth self-directed 401k. The key word is self-directed, which means that I can invest in real estate. I can buy a franchise. I can buy anything that is not a mutual fund inside of my IRA or my 401k. And if you're self-employed, you can do like $55,000 a year in a self-directed business owner 401k.
55K? Oh, in a 401k.
Yeah, in the 401k, it's
Okay.
55,000.
And
It
then
may
the
be more
Roth,
than
you
that.
can do like 6.
Yeah, in an IRA for a person with a regular job that's
Uh-huh.
participating in their 401k at their job,
Yeah.
you can't have two 401ks.
Oh.
So
So that's why the Roth is for, you got the 401k at your job. The Roth is something you can do on top
the
of it.
IRA is something you can do outside of your job. But guess
Right.
what? You can opt out of that one at your job. You don't have to take that.
And I
And
can
just
do a self-directed 401?
self-directed business owner, self-employed 401k and do 55,000 a year.
Wait, just making sure. If I'm working for this company, I can opt out and then do the self-directed.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But let me tell you why your financial advisor has no incentive to tell you to do that. Because he doesn't get paid any commissions on anything that's self-directed.
Mm.
So he has no incentive. There's
Now,
a
wait,
rule.
one more. Okay. Go ahead. Tell me that. There's a rule.
There's a rule called selling away, which basically says that a financial advisor cannot talk about an investment that's not represented by his broker. So if you've ever met with a financial advisor, you own real estate, he
Mhm.
never talks about it
Mm-mm.
because it's an investment that's not represented by his brokerage. So what he'll tell you, sell that and bring that over to us. But he ain't gonna never tell you, hey man, here's another building you should get. I mean, the industry is, in the words of Jay-Z, the industry is shady. It needs to be taken over.
Yeah.
Right? You know,
Yeah. All right.
that's
And
what
now
it
I
makes
can't make,
sense.
now if I have a matching 401k at my job, I can't make them match my self-directed one, can I?
No, you
Okay,
can't
just
make them
making sure.
match. You can't make them match the 6% outside of that. That's an
Okay.
incentive for
To
you
keep
to
it inside.
participate into their thing.
Okay.
Right?
And once I'm in that thing, I can only have one of those
Yeah.
at any
And
given
you can
time.
change your contributions to 0
Right.
and then take and put 55 grand over there. So let me give you the best example. Imagine
is
you make
great.
$250,000 at your job,
Okay. All right.
right? You're gonna max out that 17.5 or whatever, because you get like 15% of your income or 17,500. Those are the old rules, but you
Okay.
get whichever's the least of the
Oh,
two,
okay.
right? It may be
Either you're going to
20,000,
max out or it's going to be a percentage of whichever one is the least.
the
That's the
lowest.
one. Okay.
Yeah, right. If I make 250,000, I want to put away 55 grand.
Right.
Keep your 6% on that 17,000 if that's the number we're going to use. Keep your 6% on that because that
Ah.
ain't as valuable as me not paying taxes on
All right.
55
All
grand.
right. You done messed everybody up. All right. So I'm gonna break it down. We're gonna use zeros on the end.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're saying if I've got $100,000 job, they will match up to, would you say 17%?
6%, usually 6%.
6% of that. So that means for every 6,000 I put in, they'll put in 6,000. Overall, for that year, I put in 12,000. My
Yep.
6 plus their 6. You're
Mhm.
saying, however, let's say I'm making 200,000 a year,
Mhm.
right? Then I can put in how much on that one with matching,
Right. The maximum would be 15%, which would be 30,000.
which would be
But you're capped.
30,000. No,
Because
no,
you can't put in
but they're only going
15%.
to but they're only going to match up to 6.
I know, but I'm saying what you can put in tax free though,
It's 30,000, which is
30,000,
15%,
but they're going
which
to
is
cap
going
it at
over and
20.
above.
Yep.
That's going over and above though what
Mhm.
they're going to match. They're only going to match the 6%,
Exactly.
right? Okay.
Yep.
So if they're matching at 6, my 6 is going to be 12,000. So
Mhm.
I'll put in 12, they'll put in 12, blended together, that's 24,000. Now you tell me the next part. You're saying that if I have this 200K, I can do 0 over there and I can put in up to 55,000 or yeah, 55,000 in my own IRA,
Mhm. Yep. And your own 401k.
in my own 401k. So I can actually save more at this time without being capped by the fact that I'm doing it self-directed versus at my job.
Yeah. So here's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's the other side of it. There's a Roth 401k,
That I can do while I'm
meaning that
still
you
at the
put the
job.
money in, you put the money in after tax, but it grows tax free and you take it out tax free.
Tax free, right? So then in that scenario, if I'm on the job, I put the 15% match, get there. I mean, put the 6. What did we say? It was 12 and 12. It was 24,000. Put that 24,000 over there, and then I can put the other part into a Roth.
Exactly. Yep. That's
Smart.
it. So here, I'm going to show you.
Okay, now you can bring it up.
Yeah. I mean, it's all,
I'm
it's all
all
on the
we
screen.
all in now, bro. We're all in deep.
Yeah. So because you know, people be like, oh, that's BS. Well, dude, come on, man. I can just show you on the screen.
Yeah.
So eligibility rules for a solo 401k. What's the contribution limit?
58,000 in 2021.
This year it's what?
61,000 in 2022.
And if you're over 50, you can put an additional 6,500.
6,500 into a 401k. Got
Yeah.
it.
And guess what? There's a Roth 401k.
On top of that, I
Yeah,
can
meaning that
do
you can put in the money post-tax, but all of it grows tax-free. What's the
tax-free.
value of that? If you were a farmer and you had the choice of paying taxes on the seeds before they're planted, on the harvest after you've harvested the corn and it's grown, which one would you want to pay taxes on? The seeds or the harvest?
The seeds.
Exactly.
Because
That's
the
why
seeds
everybody
are
should be
worth
doing Roth.
much less than the harvest.
Yeah, you should be doing Roth.
Wow.
Right? You see that? So that's just the solo 401k. Now, here's the thing. Let me go back and let me share. Self-directed. You see, that's the key.
Key.
Right? The self-directed solo 401k. Right? Which means that it's not attached to a mutual fund. You could put it in anything. You see that? Alternative assets like what?
Real estate, private lending, equity, all this crap.
Private equity, meaning you can buy businesses, you can do anything because you're directing where the money goes. You just pay a small administrative fee to the administrating company, the third party administrator, that makes sure you're not like commingling funds and things. But that's their job. You pay them a small fee, which is usually less than what your broker gets paid off of your mutual fund account.
So is that like where can I open these?
Oh yeah. So all you do, you just come in and you type in Google and you type, so you come in and you say, open, watch this, self-directed 401k trustee. there it is. And then now people will show you there's different places, right? I have my ads turned off, but usually, you know, the
Yeah, be
ads will pop
ads.
up.
Yeah,
But you
it'll
just
be
type in
ads.
self-directed 401k open,
Mhm.
and you're gonna get all the ads in the world for people that want to show you how to do it.
Hmm.
Right. So again, there's no such thing as a free lunch, right? So everybody
Right.
has an incentive for what they're selling.
Yes.
And since I was a financial advisor, once I was in that industry and I realized I wasn't paid to give advice, I was paid to sell stuff. So because it's illegal for financial advisors to give advice. Like it's not legal.
It's not legal for advisors to give advice.
Yeah, it's not legal. Like,
That's funny.
well, let me give you a great example. Here it is.
Uh-huh. So selling away.
What does this say? Read it. Read it for your
Says,
audience so I'm not making it up.
okay, selling away refers to offering or obtaining financial products for a client that are or for a client that are not approved by a brokerage.
Yeah, so I can't talk to you about how do you do crowdfunding. I can't
Yeah.
talk to you about how do you invest in real estate. I can't talk to you about any of that.
So you can only talk to those people about things that are approved by your
By the
brokerage.
broker that they work for,
Wow.
because they have an incentive. They only get paid on that stuff, so only sell our stuff. Because if I advise you on something that they don't represent, the errors and omissions insurance doesn't cover it.
Hmm.
So they'll say, "Oh, well, dude, that's a violation. You shouldn't have been selling that." And then now I got to pay the fines out of my pocket. But if I made a mistake about something that's represented, the errors and omissions insurance that we all pay for as an agent, that covers that.
Hmm.
Yeah, but this is stuff they don't want to tell you because then nobody would
Because
ever.
they don't make no money off of this.
Exactly.
So you wouldn't even be telling me this right now if you were still making money off of it.
Well, actually, you
I'm
know,
teasing.
I
I'm
still do
teasing.
make money off of it. I still own an agency, but I don't make money off of this. I still have insurance agents. But from the perspective of,
But those agents couldn't tell me.
yeah, they would never tell you this.
Oh, okay. Damn. All right. That's bro. I'm about to make some money off of this call right here.
There you go, man. At least be able to put away more money and then
Yeah.
direct where it's going. So if people are buying real estate, if you're buying real estate
Okay.
outside of a
That's yes.
self-directed 401k plan. Now, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Let me tell
Wait.
you another secret. I got another one for you.
Okay. Go ahead. Just oh my gosh. Go.
At what age can you take money out of your 401k tax-free?
62 and a half.
No, any age,
Ah, what?
any age.
You can start taking drawdowns at any age
At any age, as long as you follow the rules.
as long as I follow the rules.
Yep,
So I got this money in this self-directed 401k. I see a real estate property I want to buy for investment property. I can take the money out of that to purchase that
Yep.
as long as I follow the rules. There has to be some crazy ass rule.
I'm going to show you.
Oh my gosh.
Watch this. Watch this. It's called, hold on, annuitization. Here it is. Right. So whenever you go into Google and you type in 401k early withdrawals, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're going to say, oh, 59 and a half, you got to wait to 59 and a half, all of this stuff, right? But if you annuitize your asset, you can take it out at any time.
All right, you should go ahead and share the screen because I don't.
So yeah. Watch this.
Do it.
So let's do it here.
So early withdrawal regularly is 59 and a half. Okay.
Early withdrawal, tax free. Right. So let me show you. So it's going to say, oh, yeah, you got this 10% penalty. No, you don't. Right. So there's
Mhm.
this is what always going to come up if you do a traditional withdrawal, right?
Right.
But there are a few exceptions to the 59.5 minimum. Right?
Yeah, I'm rubbing my hands together.
Makes sense? Section 72T.
72T.
That's it. Now, watch what it says. All it says is basically all you have to do is annuitize the asset.
Annuitize the asset.
Look at this.
401k and 403b plans. It is issued by the IRS. Cool.
Substantially equal periodic payments, which is annuitization.
Okay.
Right? So what most people don't know is that 401k is not a product. 401k is section 401k of the IRS tax code. The mutual fund companies went to as a way to get more people to put more money in the mutual funds. They went to companies and said, hey, why don't you set up your employees their 401k plan? Because they realized the employees didn't know that section even existed. And they said, well, but put our investments in there.
Man,
That's
all
why
a game, man.
That's why your 401k plan goes through Vanguard, Fidelity,
Yeah.
American Funds. They don't let you pick. You're forced to use the people who they set it up as a custodian.
But you think you're picking because it's all of their
they give
things
you a bunch
inside,
of funds.
Yeah, inside of their own shit.
It's full of crap.
It is. I mean, it's a game.
Oh, yeah. But there it is. So this is it. Bob at age 50 is the owner of an IRA, which he would like to start taking distributions in 2011. He would like to avoid the 72T additional 10% tax imposed on early distributions by taking advantage of the substantially equal periodic payment exception. Bob's IRA account has $400,000 as of December 31st. 120% of the applicable federal minimum turn rate is assumed to be 2.93%, which means that's what he can take out. So you take that, he divides this by the life expectancy, and he can take out a certain amount every year. So out of that $400,000, he can take out $1,000 a month for the rest of his life. If it was $4 million, he could take out
111,000.
Yeah, 10,000 a month.
Wow. So you're kind of directing when you can take it out.
Yeah, you pick it. You can
as long as you take it out over these protracted amounts.
Yeah, and once you do it,
dividing it by the life.
You've done it, right? Now, people ask, well, Ron, why do you know about this? Because my dad died in June and we buried him in September. I mean, he retired in June and we buried him in September. He worked until he was 65. And his first retirement check from the school district was to come in September.
3 months.
He died before he got it.
Right.
So I ain't planning on using a 401k
when you're
down
dead.
when I'm 70. I'm planning on using it soon. Because black men don't make it. We don't make it as far as everybody else. So we got to deal with the reality. What are we planning for? So I was like, dude, I don't want to wait till I'm 65 and can barely walk to be able to enjoy the money tax-free that I've accumulated. Now, here's the cool thing about that is that if you talk with the right planner, they'll teach you how to keep your assets inside, how to maximize, buy other properties, and do other things. So that's a balloon amount anyway. So you end up with this large sum of money that you've grown on a tax-free basis, and then you can access at any age, right? But there you go. All right, that's enough of. I don't even do this stuff anymore, man. And I ain't been in this business in 12 years.
But you know what?
This is why I left the business, though. I left the business because I'm like, I can't give real financial advice.
Well, I mean, yes, you can. Matter of fact, because you left the business, you can now give real financial advice.
Yeah.
You know,
I probably should enforce something on this. But
I honestly, hey, let me just say something, bro. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that we always say as Black men, and Black people, that we don't really get
Mhm.
from our ancestors because they didn't have wealth. They didn't know how to play the game. They weren't really paying attention. They were so busy working and breaking their back till they get to 65 just to get that check. So, I mean, what you just shared with me today was very eye-opening, and trust and believe I will be talking to my 30-year-old nephew, in the next week or so about how this part works.
Imagine being 30 and buying your first properties inside of a Roth 401k.
Yeah,
55 grand that he can put inside of there. And it keeps growing. All of the, when he sells it, when he flips it, all of the proceeds go back into there so that he can keep using it to buy more properties. Right?
man, I wish I were 30.
I'm going to give you something. Watch this. Check this out. Wait, everybody got a phone, right?
Yeah.
So if you open up your Apple or whatever phone you have, go to the calculator. So let's be when you was 20, when did you get your first job out of college or in your 20s?
No, I got my first job in high school, and
okay, but I'm talking about like your first salary.
My first salary, I guess I was maybe 22, 23.
Okay. And what was that salary at the time?
Let's say it was $7 an hour, right?
Okay.
So,
right.
Because I was young.
Right. But that's a wage. I'm talking about like a salary where it was like monthly. I'm gonna get paid $30,000 a year or whatever.
Oh shit, I never got a salary.
Okay. So
I was always an hourly worker.
Okay. So
pretty much. I'm trying to think. I guess when I was in Accenture, maybe I wasn't. But most of the time I was an hourly worker. I was definitely an hourly worker.
Let's just say someone makes $20 an hour today.
Okay.
Right. Is it reasonable that they can come up with $1,000?
Yeah, I mean that's an $8,000. What are they making? $8,000 a month or something?
No, at $20 an hour, that's 40 grand a year.
Okay, 40 grand a year.
40 grand a year, right? So can they in 1 year can they save $83 a month to save up $1,000?
Absolutely. So let's just go with that. $83 a month.
They got $1,000. They probably got that in their account now.
Yes.
Right. So here's what they do. They take that $1,000 and they put it in a self-directed IRA,
mm-hmm.
a Roth self-directed IRA. Okay. Now, so on your calculator on your phone, let's just do 1,000 because that's where we're starting.
Okay.
Right. So we're starting with 1,000.
And we're doing $1,000 a year.
So yeah, this year zero. We're just starting day one with $1,000.
Okay.
Is it reasonable if I said, okay, next year, all I need you to do is to save another $1,000?
Yes.
Okay. So let's multiply that by 2. So now we're at $2,000, right?
Yes.
And I said, okay, you get a tax return and you get, and you can keep saving. Can you put another $2,000 into that Roth IRA in year 2?
Okay, so I'm going to put my $1,000 plus my tax return in.
Yeah,
or that's going to be around $2,000.
$2,000.
So that's $2,000. All right.
So in year 2, you're going to put in $2,000. So now you should be at $4,000.
At $4,000, yes.
Right? But during that time, you're reading books on investing and in real estate and all this, and you're like, I'm gonna put enough money in my Roth so that I can eventually buy real estate inside of it.
Okay.
Right? Or do some type of business inside of it. Okay.
Yep.
So now we're going into year 3. You probably got a raise. You probably still can save that $83 a month, and you probably still get a tax return. Is it reasonable after a person has been working for 3 years that we could ask them to save another $4,000?
Another $4,000.
$4,000.
All right,
you already
here
got
we
the
go.
discipline of saving $2,000.
All right. Now we're up to $8,000 in year 3.
Year 3.
Got it.
If you went to one of your uncles when you're 25 years old, 26 years old, and you say, "Unc, I saved $8,000. I know you do real estate. can I go in on a deal with you? Just one deal. And all I'm looking to get back out of it is my 8 grand plus another 8 grand. You can keep the rest
I
of
want
it.
to flip my money in a deal
Yeah,
with,
but I'm gonna do the work. I'm gonna do everything you need me to do. But I
right.
trust your experience and what you've been doing.
Mhm.
I'm putting some bread in. I'm not asking you to give me a free ride.
Right.
Or let's say you can't even do that. Can I work a part-time gig? Can I drive Uber and save my Uber money?
All right. We're trying to double our money again.
Yeah, but I'm trying. Can I save 8 grand from driving Uber, delivering Lyft,
I guess.
doing groceries shipped, all of those things?
But let's
DoorDash.
say you got a side hustle. All right.
Yeah, 8 grand.
Somewhere in there. An 8
Yeah.
grand. Yes.
Now what I got going into year 4.
So we've got 16 grand
Yeah.
total because we put
Yeah.
in the 8.
Yep.
All right.
We're at 16 grand
Again.
at going into year 4. Got
So
it?
that's 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Got it.
Right?
So I'm up to 16 grand in year 4.
All right. So maybe I didn't do the house flip. My uncle was like, hey man, that ain't enough money. But I saw you went out there and you drove some Uber. How much you got? And he said, well, I got 16,000 now because I saved all of my Uber and DoorDash money from my regular job. And I put my tax return in there. So I got 16 grand. He said, all right, 16 grand, we could do something. Right? I got a project we could do something with. Do you think working with housing prices now and an experienced uncle that's doing his thing and you still driving Uber, you think you can double that 16 grand?
To 32?
I'm still working. I'm investing with my uncle.
Maybe.
Maybe, right? But
I mean, 32 grand is not no chump change.
I understand. But guess what I've already been building? I already been saving.
Yes.
I've already been working an extra job and saving all of that from the
and you don't know. Yeah, you absolutely. You're living already off of the money that you're living off of.
Yeah.
And now the extra you're going to put back into this fund.
Yeah, we just saving.
All right. So
it's
now
$1,000 a month. Can I make an extra $250 a week driving Uber?
All right. So now we're at 32,000.
32,000. Now my uncle thinks I'm serious. He like, look, we didn't end up doing that deal, but you got 32 grand. We're in year what? This going into year 6, right?
Yep.
Okay. How much we got?
No, that's actually year 5. I'm doing the 32 grand.
Yeah, that's at the end.
So we're going into year 6. Yes, sir.
Going into year 6. So now I got 32,000. I've been reading books. I've been learning a lot of stuff. Still driving Uber, still doing all those things, but I'm learning. I put in the 5 years of learning, right? About what I want to be doing. I go to my uncle now, my 32 grand. He's like, dude, you serious about this? Let's go. I'm gonna put in 50%. You're gonna put in 50%. This is a great deal. We're gonna be able to flip this.
Yeah.
Now I'm at 64, if I can flip that. By buying a property, by doing something.
No, actually by leveraging your uncle's other 32 grand, you're able to
exactly working with somebody else's money and his experience.
Right.
Right. So once we do that one deal and he saw that I'm a hard worker and then I'm still doing what I need to do, I got 64 grand.
In equity. 64 grand in equity?
Yeah, I got 64 grand total.
Oh, okay, because I got 32, his 32. Yes, got you.
Right?
Yes.
So going into year 7, how much do I have? 64,000 in year 7. I did one house. I probably could flip a second one.
Yeah, once you get in.
Yeah, well, my uncle, he may do 2 deals next year and let me participate in 2 because I got more money and he worked with me before and I can do all the grunt work that he hates doing. I still getting raises from my job that I ain't touched. I'm still keeping this is just from saving and working Uber or doing something on the side.
Yeah, I ain't doing the Uber no more, bro.
But you understand what I mean. There's opportunities out there for people to design things on Fiverr. They can join TSP and learn how to start a little side hustle.
Yes, sir.
There's opportunities for people to make $1,000 a month in their spare time. There's just no excuse.
It really isn't.
right?
Now, hold on. Now, I just want to make sure this 32 grand that I'm going to use to leverage to buy this home for the first flip comes from this IRA.
It's inside of the IRA still.
Okay.
Because once I put it in there, I can't touch it.
So how do I use it to buy the house? I don't get that.
Because
part.
I go through my third-party administrator and I tell them what I'm doing, and they distribute it the same way that they would distribute it into a mutual fund. When you switch mutual funds, how do you do that? You talk to your HR person and they make the change. It's the same process.
Oh. Okay. All right. Without getting too deep into details, I get you.
But yeah, but you just go to your that custodian that I showed you.
It's basically the main thing when that happens is you can't get the check personally.
Exactly. I can't touch the money anymore.
Right. That's the main thing. Okay. Fantastic. Got it.
Got it? But I can make deposits. Right. So now I got 64. Man, I done 2 homes with my uncle. I'm gonna try one of these on my own.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm at 128. Right. If I can continue what I've learned over my 7 years of beating my head in and learning how to save, because here's the thing. If I got $128,000 from a come up in 1 year, I don't appreciate money. My respect for money, because I got it too easily. My respect ain't there for it.
Right.
But if it takes me 7 years to get to 128 grand, and somebody come to me saying, put this in the susu and we gonna flip it next week.
Yeah.
Because they saw it on a Facebook page. I ain't doing that because I knew how hard it was for me to get this to begin with.
Yeah.
So now I'm a disciplined investor. But I had to eat boo-boo for 7 years. Right?
Yeah.
So I just do more of what I was already doing. Instead of doing 2 houses in a year, I do 4. Now I got enough to buy a multiplex. I can buy a 12 unit.
Yep. That's what I'm talking about.
Right? But I got enough now. So that when I go to uncle or aunt and I say, look, I'm trying to buy this $5 million building, I need to raise $1 million. They're not saying, well, what you putting in? Well, I got 250,000. I'm just
right.
Now I got respect when I walk in the room. Makes sense.
Much sense.
Moral of the story is that if you just do that 2 more times, you'll end up after 10 years with $1 million.
Millionaire. Yeah, millionaire.
Right? But you got to eat crap for the first 7 years to get the discipline to appreciate money and learn how to save. And see, what are you willing to trade? Can you trade some time? Can you hustle your way into financial independence? That's somebody who only started off with $1,000. Imagine a lot of people that are watching this got 10 grand in the bank right now.
Yeah.
But they're not willing to eat the crap to double it to 20 grand next year. And then eat crap again to double it to 40 grand the next year. And then do it again to get to 80. And then do it again. Now they cut 4 years off because that's how long it took him to get up to, he had to go 1, 2, 4, 8, then 16. They cut 4 years off and they still won't do it.
Oh, that's the hard part.
Yeah. Because Instagram and everything has told us that this 15-year-old made 6 figures overnight. I got
whatever.
A 6-figure business.
Yeah,
look, man,
whatever.
6 figures is cool, but people got 6-figure salaries with none of the risk of running a business. Like that ain't really the goal. Should not be.
Bro, stop.
I mean, but you get it. Like it's like, dude, we run a 6-figure. Dude, like people got 6-figure salaries with none of the
all day.
What are you bragging about? So, but that's the point. Like anybody who is listening to this, they got a nephew, or if they're not where they want to be right now as a person, they got $1,000. Are you committed to doing this, being there in 10 years? Are you willing to eat crap if it was guaranteed that you could be a millionaire in 10 years?
Yes.
With no fancy borrow against life insurance and all this crap. You can do this outside of a Roth IRA. Just do it in your checking account. You're going to have to pay some taxes on it. But if you're doing it through real estate, you don't. Because you can do the like-kind exchanges, rolling it from one building to another.
Yes, sir.
So, I mean, people look, man, ain't no reason for nobody to be broke. That's the moral of the story. You know,
Damn.
but it just takes discipline. Are you willing to eat crap?
Well, that's the reason.
Yeah.
That's the reason.
I was just willing to eat crap. You know, people laugh at me. Oh man, you was driving that old car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't care about it. You cared about it.
Mm.
If you didn't, evidently you didn't care enough, you didn't buy me a new one. But moral of the story is there's a lot of financial information that isn't gimmicky, you know, that people can really benefit from if they just took the time, right? Just took the time and looked through it. But Roth 401k, self-directed Roth 401ks, self-directed Roth IRAs. Those are the keys to wealth building. And you don't have to start a business to build wealth. Most of the people that are millionaires did it through a 401k. They
and
did
real
it
estate.
through a job. Yeah, but a lot of them just saved through their job.
Oh,
right?
yeah, you're
real
right.
estate is secondary. Most people did it just through forced savings, right? So, you know, if you can do that and do real estate, imagine your forced savings was invested into real estate, right? My friends, they always joke with me because I think that entrepreneurship has been the greatest creator of Black wealth and the greatest destroyer of Black wealth. It's both, because so many Black folks, they become entrepreneurially unemployable, like myself.
Right.
So you've been in business so long, if you go apply for a job, nobody wants to hire you.
Nobody wants to
like, dude, you're just gonna go back and run another business, right?
Yeah.
Or you destroy the family's money, and you know, the momentum that you had built up over those 15 years of saving, you used it, you blew the equity in your house and all this. Just keep the job and keep going. So I know I made that post. I'm like, dude, y'all leaving 6-figure jobs to make $40,000 as an entrepreneur?
Yeah.
Crazy. The average entrepreneur makes 43 grand a year.
That was so good. That's so good.
I ain't leaving my 6-figure job again. I did it once. I ain't doing it again. I'm speaking from experience. I had a 6-figure work from home job working for Farmers Insurance in 2007. And I left it to chase a dream. Worst decision of my life.
Wow.
Nobody wants to talk about that.
No, that's what I want to talk about. That's the kind of stuff.
Yeah, man. Worst decision of my life.
But you're free.
Okay. Are you? You know, everybody has a boss.
See, everybody has a boss.
When you have a job, you have one customer. You sold your services to one customer. You just happen to call them a boss. But you probably would appreciate the job more if you called them a customer. Right? Because just by that paradigm shift, you don't see him as telling you what to do. You see him as a customer needing to be served. So we leave to go to start a business and have instead of $100,000 job, we have 1,000 customers paying us $100. Right? But we got to serve 1,000 people. They got 1,000 different attitudes on it and 1,000 different forms of payment. And there's no law if they choose not to pay us anymore.
No.
If my boss decides not to pay me anymore,
sue him.
At least I'm fired. But if I did the services, he has to pay me and I can sue him. But guess what? He can't go on Glassdoor and write a review saying I'm a crappy employee. But your customers at your business can definitely go on Google.
They sure will.
Your job ain't shit.
They sure will.
I'm just being real. Like, hey man, it ain't all rosy on the other side because somebody made an Instagram TikTok about it.
Right.
No, that ain't. No, life is tough, man. Business is even tougher.
It is tough.
You know. So, but great conversation today, man. I don't know if this is all you wanted to talk about.
Oh my gosh, bro.
Help some people. You know.
My mind is blown. I can't even. Dang. See, and if I would have asked you, I said, man, here's what we're going to talk about. This would have never came out.
Yeah, well, we'd have been talking about like people getting on podcasts and stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
That's what we'd have been ended up at. And you know what? You know, I want to reserve that for another time if we could.
Yeah, we can talk about it a different time. It's not a big deal.
I think this is to do that.
This is super helpful for people.
This was fire, man. And I really appreciate you taking the time explaining it so we could understand it, digest it, and really start putting this into play, so 10 years from now, we can have people pointing back to this one episode, and saying, this is why I'm a millionaire, because I got the discipline and I started eating boo-boo for 4 years.
That's it. And it's worth
good.
it, on the other side, and a lot of the guys that are out there talking about, build your own bank and bank on yourself.
Yeah.
Those guys are my clients. So I know those guys personally. And I don't think that what they're saying is wrong. I just don't think that it's for everybody.
Right.
So I think it's a wealth preservation tool using life insurance that way. I don't think it's a wealth builder.
Brilliant.
Because they didn't build their money through that. Ask them how they got their money. They built it through running a business. They didn't build it through putting it in a freaking life insurance.
No. Damn. All right. Now, if people want to follow you, where do they go, Ron?
So a couple of things they can do. The first thing they can do is they can follow me on all platforms under Ron Story Jr., RONSTORYJR, right? And if you're looking for a side hustle where you can do something on the side, go to podcastbookingservice.com and we'll show you how to set up your own podcast booking agency. You can do it from home if you're a single mom or you want to travel the world. The young lady who teaches the course, she moved from St. Louis to Columbia. She travels around the world now, 5 employees, booking people on podcasts. That's all that she do. So a lot of the people y'all seeing on podcasts, they were booked by my girl, by one of our agency owners. So,
Awesome.
Yeah,
all right. So, that's what we're going to do, man. All right, folks, we out of here for now. Do what you just heard. You got to do this, man. All right, Ron, thank you so much, brother. Peace out.